The PlayStation 5 reveal was kind of awesome. Despite the fact that Rockstar Games led the show and made us think that we're getting GTA 6, but instead we're getting another version of GTA 5. And there was no price point reveal for the console. I think there was a lot of awesome games and it was just an overall presentation full of hype. So let's talk about PS5 games, why don't we? Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ramakrishnan. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming along. I'm a huge gamer and I love my PlayStation 4. Might be my favorite console of the current gen. And you know, the PS5 looks kind of crazy. I mean, this whole futuristic sci-fi look to it, being white and all, interesting. But I'm not really talking about the console itself necessarily. In this video, I just want to get hyped over some games that you guys. So let's just kind of do this thing. I'm not really going in any specific order. Let's just run down a few of the games that were shown off at the PlayStation 5 reveal that I'm the most excited for. All right, so first things first, I think that we have to give mention to Spider-Man Miles Morales because Marvel Spider-Man from 2018 is one of my favorite games of the past decade. Them giving us a sequel or an expansion, or you know, we're hearing some weird terms thrown around, but them giving us more Spider-Man is so great, especially seeing as they said it's holiday 2020, which I guess means it's a launch title. I'm super excited for it because I like Spider-Man a lot just as a franchise. I like Into the Spider-Verse a whole lot. And I think that Insomniac killed it with the game. So I expect it to be a really fun and intimate story about Miles Morales becoming the next Spider-Man. I'm really excited for more of that fun gameplay. And I just thought it was such a cool reveal that despite the fact that I almost expected a Spider-Man sequel to be shown here, I was just so surprised. And it's just hype that's coming out this year. Like, isn't that crazy? Oh, and speaking of Insomniac Games, somehow they've been busy, man. So the new Ratchet & Clank game looks great, and I love that visual design and the art direction that we saw in 2016's reboot. Ratchet & Clank is just such an awesome franchise. It's so much fun, it's delightful, and it's really cool. So I'm excited to see more, and they're going to this whole interdimensional thing. I think there's gonna be some fun space travel, and there's gonna be a lot of awesome weapons. I know that. We have some new characters, so there's a good chance of like an interesting story too. And I just love that Ratchet & Clank is back. I know everyone I saw online and like my friends who are fans of the series are just so excited, and I am too. The other two big PlayStation franchises in Horizon and Gran Turismo are not as near and dear to me personally, though I've played some of Horizon Zero Dawn and I liked what I played. I've got to kind of go back and give it a proper chance. So I promise you guys I'm gonna do that before this new sequel comes out because it looks so good. I mean, it's just such a cool IP, so I'll get to it. And driving games are not necessarily for me, though I've been a little bit interested in them as of late. And I think that Gran Turismo looks nice. It's gonna be really technically brilliant, no doubt, just not super concerned with it personally. You know, I'm not a horror game fan. Resident Evil didn't really do anything for me in its reveal, though I do think it was kind of sick the way they revealed it, and in the end it's like, oh wow, this is actually Resident Evil. But the other franchise that is getting a sequel, which I'm actually personally super excited for, is Hitman 3. Hitman 3 looks really cool. I love this IP. I think that IO Interactive really does a good job with the games. Hitman and Hitman 2 are super dope. I mean, the type of gameplay is just so much fun. It's difficult. You've got to experiment. It's interesting and it is deep, and there's so many cool kills you could do and stuff like that. And I think that Hitman is just an awesome franchise, and I'm really pumped that they're actually doing another one, you know, and IO is doing really well. So I'm super excited for that, and it was a nice surprise for me personally. I've actually been interested in Deathloop since they showed it last year, I think it was. And this Arcane Leon game looks so good. I mean, I knew I was excited when I first saw the cinematic reveal trailer at E3. I was like just so interested in this premise and stuff, and the time loops are always cool in stories for me. And then they showed this trailer and they went into detail, and I love it. It's got this whole fun vibe. I feel like it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be vulgar, it's gonna be crazy, and the story seems so interesting. I love the concept of being stuck in a loop. I love that there's two assassins sort of after each other, and there's all these targets that have to be taken out in what they say like 24 hours. It seems kind of campy, but also kind of just like badass. I think the Deathloop's gameplay looks like a lot of fun, sort of like Dishonored naturally, and with all the different guns and weapons and ways to play and take out those targets, it should be interesting. And honestly, it quickly became one of my most anticipated games, probably the most anticipated third-party game of this PlayStation 5 event for me. Another game that I was really interested in after last year's E3 was Ghostwire Tokyo. And once they actually showed it to us again in this event, you know, once I saw Tokyo, they were talking about it and stuff, I was like, oh, you know what? I think it's that Ghostwire game. And I'm just like so down for it. I'm so interested. I think the gameplay looks kind of sick. It looks kind of different, but also familiar with this melee action and stuff. And it looks like it's gonna have some horror elements, some sort of like a psychological thriller in a way, it seems. It looks interesting for sure. I love new IP, and I think that this one looks ambitious and it looks kind of unique, and it's just so cool. I mean, I'm so excited to see what Ghostwire Tokyo is really all about, and it quickly rose up in the ranks for games that I'm just straight up hyped for. I unfortunately haven't really given a lot of opportunities to the Soulsborne games. I mean, From Software, I respect them a lot. I've tried a few and they're just so hard, and I personally, I don't know if they're for me, but I want to sort of try them again. And I feel like this Demon's Souls remake just looks so good, and it's just such a it's given. It's gonna be good because Bluepoint does really good with their games, and they're basically a PlayStation developer at this point. And I'm kind of tempted to go into this game, even though I don't think I can handle them. Project Athia and Pragnata are two new IP that we saw at this little event here. And I think that Pragmata almost looked like a Death Stranding kind of thing. This sci-fi game from Capcom, very cryptic. Might be a ways out. I don't really know what it is, obviously, but I really like this cinematic trailer. I thought it was very interesting and cool, and I'm digging this sci-fi vibe that we got from it. And Project Athia is definitely interesting as well. It looks like it's gonna be a pretty big budget, great PlayStation exclusive, probably. It's early to say what it is, but count me interested for sure. And I think that Godfall is a game that I'm definitely gonna play. I loved what this trailer showed. Like, the gameplay just looks like a lot of fun in its melee combat. I'm a big fan of hack and slash games and action games, and it looks exciting. It looks just like it's going to be really awesome, honestly. I'm super interested in it. I hope that it works. I hope it's not relying on microtransactions or anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Godfall is going to be about, and I think it's a launch title as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and that's kind of it. I mean, I didn't really cover every single game in this PlayStation 5 reveal event. There was a handful of indie games, one with bugs and strawberries, and a space one. And I'm not counting those out as games I'm not interested in, but they didn't necessarily stand out like the others that I just talked about. And given everyone's adoration for Demon's Souls remake and Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, I kind of felt like it was worth mentioning them. Same with Resident Evil, even though if they're not necessarily games that I have on my radar like the others. But I feel like the biggest ones for me, honestly, are Deathloop, Ghostwire, Spider-Man, and Ratchet. But those are my opinions. Those are my thoughts. Those are the games that I'm excited for from this PlayStation 5 reveal event or presentation. Now it's your turn, guys. Let me know in the comments below. What did you think about the event overall? I mean, were you disappointed by what Rockstar did in teasing us, or were you guys hyped to play more GTA 5 on next gen? Because, like, low-key, I probably will. Are you kind of mad that there was no price point or release date? When do you think it's going to come out? How much will the PS5 cost? What do you guys think? Share me all your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what PlayStation 5 games you're the most excited for, and whether or not you think that PS5 or Series X is looking like it's gonna be for you. Which one are you more interested in as of now? Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will have a conversation with me about all things PlayStation. So thanks again, and I will see you guys all in the next video.